Let me ask you something about your engagement with APAC, not so much what it does and is, but well, tell us what it is and how you became involved in it and what this has meant to your development as a leader.
Well, I got a phone call this summer after I got elected in summer 2004, inviting me to a policy conference where there were
Summer you got elected.
to the SJ presidency.
Yes, in
So
Morehouse.
summer 2004. Um, invited me to their national policy conference, and they were inviting SJ presidents, and they were reaching out to HBCU presidents, and they invited 4 HBCU presidents, but the only ones that responded were myself from Morehouse College and Adiola Adejobi, who was an SJ president at Spelman. And we went, and the only other African American SJ president was from the University of Florida. I can't recall his name, but it might have been 10 black people at the whole conference of 7,500. And I remember one moment that they had the roll call, but I was just so enthralled that we went to this huge dinner that they have, and every member of Congress, or at least 75% of them were there, and I got to, see Steny Hoyer again, who has the best hair in Congress, and I got a chance to see Condoleezza Rice and see George Bush. And the unique thing is, they had this huge roll call where they they notified and they let the crowd know who was there, and they let them know of the SJ presidents they had there, but they left out the only 2 HBCU presidents they had. I didn't even recognize it, but afterwards the staff, the executive director of this huge organization came and apologized and said, "We'll make it up to you." And I was like, don't worry about it. I don't care. So the next morning we're sitting in a huge forum waiting on the president, at that time George Bush, to speak. And after they introduced the president, they had a pause, and they said, "We would also like to recognize, as President Bush stand and wait, we would also like to recognize the SJ president from Morehouse College and Spelman College, Bakari and Adiola Adejobi. May they please stand." So that attention to detail, and we made President Bush wait even just for that moment, meant a great deal. But from the 50,000-foot view, it's expanded my world horizon. And I challenged them on issues. I challenged them on issues dealing with Palestine and the way that they treat the Palestinian government and their aggressiveness towards the Palestinian government. And I say that there are, and their aggressiveness as they move or refuse to move back in terms of some of their settlements and things of that nature. So we do challenge each other, and we do have great discussions. But I also go back and I think that the Jewish community was there many times, hand in hand with the African American community during the Civil Rights Movement. And that's very interesting to me. And for me, my role in APAC is one of a learning experience. And every time that I interact with a staff member, or every time I interact at a convention, I try to learn as much as possible. So that's pretty much the extent of my dealings with APAC. But it's been interesting, and I love when I'm able to challenge them, and they're able to provide me with opportunities to learn.